Imagine a place where the sun rarely rises, and the vast expanse of ice hides secrets buried for millennia. Now, picture mysterious flying objects darting through this frozen wilderness, their origins unknown, and their purposes even more enigmatic. Antarctica, the world's most isolated and inhospitable continent, has long been a subject of fascination and speculation. With its endless white horizons and extreme conditions, it's a place that seems almost otherworldly. Whether their believers know it or not, many ideas about Antarctica have roots in the original polar conspiracy of John Cleve Symmes Jr. Cincinnati-born U.S. Army soldier Symmes devoted his life to spreading his hollow Earth theory. His assertions changed with time, but the central thesis that the Earth was a hollow shell, 800 miles thick, with 1,000-mile wide apertures at both poles, through which intrepid adventurers might reach a rich interior, remained. He limited his thoughts to privately printed circulars and booklets in the late 1810s, but by the 1820s, he was starting to travel the nation. Symmes became well known, and after his ideas were printed in publications like the National Intelligencer, they became popular. Joshua Reynolds, his pupil, assisted in securing government funding to start the first official American expedition to Antarctica, the Wilkes Exploring Expedition of 1839, visible in Edgar Allan Poe's tale, The Narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym, 1838. Symmes's ideas shaped popular consciousness. Poe's story has the titular character carried in an open boat beneath the Antarctic Circle to a tropical land inhabited by dark-skinned subhumans, and then to a frigid whirlpool at the North Pole, apparently leading to a mysterious interior space inhabited by a giant clothed figure. And the hue of the skin of the figure was of the perfect whiteness of the snow. Many conspiracy theories have been generated by the mystery of the future and the uncertain character of the polar and Antarctic areas. The concept that something beyond human grasp is buried under the ice enthralls people. Antarctic conspiracies in history have often revolved around this obsession with the unknown and unexplored. Following the zeal of the heroic age of exploration under leaders like Shackleton and Scott, motors, planes, and radios replaced conventional cross-continental journeys in the middle of the 20th century. The Antarctic flights of Richard Byrd then enthralled the imagination of people all around. Claiming to be the first person to fly over the North Pole in 1926, Byrd, a famous U.S. Navy commander and early aviation pioneer, has recently had his claim called into question by evidence discovered in his diary. Byrd headed 5 independent Antarctic trips between the 1920s and the 1950s. While the latter 3 were run under the direction of the U.S. government, the first 2 were independent projects. Little America 4, Byrd's 1946-47 trip, set up a research station on the Ross Ice Shelf. Under Byrd's command, Effort Deep Freeze in the 1950s was a huge effort, whereby Navy Seabees built the first permanent American bases at McMurdo in the South Pole. Many conspiracy theories now center on these trips, along with Byrd personally. Newsreel footage parts on Byrd's explorations abound with assertions about what he really witnessed in Antarctica. There are many theories, one of which is popularized by the show Ancient Aliens, and holds that Byrd's lost diary notes his encounter with a rich hollow Earth and a race of UFO flying residents expressing dismay at humanity's dependence on nuclear power. Another theory holds that Byrd came upon and battled Nazi-piloted flying saucers, which would help to explain why Operation High Jump needed such a sizable expeditionary force. Notable sightings. Over the past few years, people who never even left their living rooms, let alone traveled to Antarctica, have been using satellite images to discover peculiar formations on the surface of the continent. People have used these anomalies, which have been regarded as craft or routes to underground facilities, as materials for discussions on social media. Antarctica's extreme conditions and unique ecosystem continue to be a subject of fascination and study. While the idea of UFOs and hidden alien bases captures the imagination, it remains within the realm of speculation and science fiction until substantiated by credible evidence. While the Neumayer UFO is being featured at various UFO and conspiracy sites, There is a contradiction here in claiming that it is proof of aliens. If it is not a balloon or any other day-to-day object, then why this government, which is often accused of hiding all the proofs about aliens, would release this video to the public? While at an Air Force base, people live and work close by, and can generally photograph or videotape what is in the sky above at their leisure. Neumayer Station 3 in Antarctica is effectively closed to the public, except in the way of the government-controlled webcam. The search for something secret and uncharted under the Antarctic ice has spawned a rainbow of creative hypotheses. Speculation about the possibility of more than what first greets the sight in these far-off, frozen territories never abates. Driven by historical missions and the mysterious leaders of them, the mythology and secrets of Antarctica guarantee that the region will always be rich for the imagination. These ideas and the passion they engender address a more general human yearning for knowledge and adventure. The notion that there are still uncharted territories to discover strikes a strong resonance as our planet gets more and more mapped and known. With its hostile temperature and unexplored areas, Antarctica's continuing appeal reflects the spirit of adventure and the search for knowledge that has fueled millennia of human discovery. Though the Norwegians already owned Dronning Maud Land and were leaving at the conclusion of World War II, the idea of a Nazi stronghold in Antarctica persisted. This concept has been spun into the larger fabric of Antarctic conspiratorial ideas. The tale of Antarctic Nazis has spawned innumerable variants that enthrall conspiracy buffs all around. Another well-liked variation of the story holds that the Nazis created sophisticated technologies much beyond what the rest of the globe had accomplished during their claimed Antarctic exile. This covers future weapons and UFOs, frequently portrayed as the result of covert experimentation and discoveries performed amid the solitude of the Antarctic tundra. These fanciful tales combine historical events with science fiction components to produce an equally fascinating yet improbable narrative. The concept of an Antarctic Nazi base appeals to a wider human curiosity with secret worlds and uncharted territory. Such stories find the ideal setting in the hostile and far-off Antarctic, conjuring thoughts of ice fortresses and covert operations under the surface. These conspiracies appeal even more because of their sharp contrast with the advanced covert activities apparently occurring there. The story of Antarctic Nazis has changed and combined with other conspiratorial stories over the years. Some iterations of the narrative, for instance, assert that Allied soldiers or later adventurers found the alleged Nazi base, sparking clandestine operations or secret combat. Others propose that the sophisticated technology of the Nazis was somehow shared with or taken advantage of by other world powers, hence explaining abrupt post-war technical progress fluctuations. From novels to movies to TV shows, these legends have been kept alive and embellished in popular culture. Such stories are always appealing since they can combine creative fiction with historical events to produce a suspenseful and enigmatic story. So that's all the time we have for today, folks. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Until next time, stay cautious and remain vigilant.